What if you were forbidden to learn, have a job, and got put in jail and killed for what you believed in? That's what happened to the people of the Baha'i Faith after the Iranian Revolution in 1978. As a result of the Iranian Revolution in 1978, the new government limited the basic human rights of the people of the Baha'i Faith. This caused the Baha'is to leave the country and spread their teachings all over the world. The beginning of the Iranian Revolution all started when many Iranians weren't happy with the current king, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, or the Shah, who took the throne from his father on September 16, 1941. The revolution officially started when the first act to overthrow the Shah occurred. In December 1979, it ended when the Shah was overthrown and replaced by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini with Iran's approval. On February 9, 1979, millions of Iranians came to the streets of Tehran to welcome the return of the religious leader Ayatollah who helped overthrow the Shah.
Iran's Islamic Revolution under the Ayatollah Khomeini again focused attention and hatred on the 300,000 to 400,000 Baha'is who live in Iran, attacks that followed a long history of persecution. Whereas Christians can freely practice their religion in Iran, and even Jewish ceremonies are tolerated under Muslim rule, Baha'is are denied recognition of their faith, which ironically was born in Iran in 1844.
The Baha'i Faith is a religion where you believe in one God and spiritual unity of the world. Baha'is believe their faith grew out of Islam the way Christianity grew out of Judaism. They believe their founder, Baha'u'llah, was the most recent of God's messengers, a prophet like Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha. But Islam recognizes no prophets after Muhammad, so Baha'is in Iran are denounced as heretics.
The Baha'is are a worldwide religious faith. In recent weeks in Iran, 16 members of the Baha'is that we know about were hanged. They were executed in spite of an appeal for clemency by President Reagan. Those killed included 3 teenage girls, plus this entire family. They died in Iran for their faith.
Because Islams didn't recognize any prophet after Muhammad, they decided to get rid of the Baha'i Faith, which led to persecutions. Persecutors took away jobs, pensions, properties, education, and imprisoned and killed Baha'is for their beliefs. The Baha'is knew if they stayed in Iran, they can get killed, like a 16-year-old girl, Mona.
On October 22nd of 1982, we heard that Mona and her father been arrested. So her father, we weren't much surprised because we knew they're after him. But arresting of Mona was very shocking. That why they took Mona. We thought maybe they took her just because to scare her mother and her father, and they would let her come home soon because Mona was only 16 years old. But she never came back.
My mom's family was one of those affected by the revolution. Thank goodness my mom's family got out safe. They were planning to go to the U.S. for just 1 year so my grandpa could get his master's degree, but they were never able to go back. My grandma's dad was in prison, and friends of my grandpa were executed.
We just came here for stay only 1 year. And then when revolution happened, we couldn't go back because the situation was so bad, especially for us because we were Baha'i. And
what bad things were going on?
Well, the first thing they did, the new revolution, the new leaders, they executed a lot of the Baha'is. They expelled all the Baha'is from their government jobs. They expelled all the professors at the universities. They expelled all the students in colleges.
Me, my sister, my mother came to the United States in 1978. My dad, who was in Iran, that was still supporting us, was stuck there and really could not leave the country, mainly due to his faith, Baha'i Faith. And hard to believe, time flew by. As a 13-year-old, I didn't realize that I didn't have my dad until 2001, when he was finally able to leave Iran and come to the United States.
A lot of Iranian Baha'is were forced to leave the country. Some through different ways. As refugees, they went to Turkey, they went to Pakistan, they went to Europe and became refugees, and then they were processed and then located in different parts of the world. And
probably the major thing, most of the young people from Iran, they had to leave their country and come over here because they couldn't attend, they weren't allowed to go to the university and attend to university like most of the other people in Iran. The Muslims people, they could go, but the Baha'i people.
I came to United States in 1971, the time of revolution. I was going to school. I was almost done, and immediately after I finished my school, I went back to Iran. Stayed there for a few months, and since I couldn't stay there, I came back to United States and went to Africa, worked in Africa, Southern Africa for 4 years to serve humanity.
I thought that it was my responsibility to at least let everyone know about the Baha'i Faith and to make sure that people knew why the Baha'is were being killed and not able to have some basic human rights. And now having my daughter doing a documentary on the same subject, I realized that I certainly wasn't alone in that sense of responsibility, that Baha'is from all over the world were talking about their faith.
About the revolution in Iran is Baha'is are all over the world now, which was the plan. Because we are talking about unity of mankind, and one way to promote unity of mankind is to be with other people. Just talking about it is not going to do it. And even before revolution, Baha'is were all over. But after revolution, any village you go in Africa, I lived in Africa, I worked in Africa, any small villages you go, a small town, all over the world, you can see Baha'is helping other people, which is one of the goals of Baha'i Faith.
I saw how everything that my father had worked for in an instant of an eye was taken away. So at times I even tell my kids that it was right around this age that I am now, that if somebody just plucked us out of the United States from California and put us in this, I always say Zimbabwe, I don't know why, but some country, you don't know the language, and with a shirt on your back and say, okay, let's start all over again. And so this is exactly what happened to us, and we did okay, so you would do okay, so don't be so attached to the things of this world.
Even though they lost their rights from the government, Baha'is stayed true to their faith and felt that they needed to be responsible and spread their teachings. This ended up making the Baha'i Faith the most widespread religion next to Christianity.